What are the things you know about the branch of government?
I know there are three branches of government. There's the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. How can I forget that? Go ahead.
What do you know about these three branches?
I know a lot, but I know very little. It's been a very long time since I covered the three branches of government. I do know that the president is part of the executive branch. Courts deal with the judicial branch, and then legislative is House of Representatives and the Senate make decisions. So,
what creates this balance?
I'm sorry?
What creates this balance?
What creates what balance?
Of the branches.
Oh, balance of the branches? That's a really great question, and I'm not sure how to answer that. What do you think?
I really don't know either.
You're not sure?
Well, thank you, though.
You're welcome.
What are the things that you know about the three branches of government?
I know there's three branches: legislative, executive, judiciary, and that they check and balance each other. So no one part is stronger than the other.
What do you know about these three branches?
Judiciary is like the Supreme Court, like judges in court. Legislative is like the House of Representatives and the Senate. They make the laws. And then executive is like the president. So that's what I know.
What creates the balance?
What creates the balance? They each have the ability to check the other. So, like if the legislative branch makes a law, the judiciary branch can say it's unconstitutional. Same thing with the executive branch. They come up with something. The judge can check.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Go.
What are the things that you know about the branches of government?
I know that there are three branches of government, the executive, legislative, and judicial, and that they all have different roles that are aimed at creating a balance of powers.
What are their roles?
So the judicial branch is in charge of assessing whether or not laws are constitutional, and the executive branch consists of the president and his cabinet, and they have the power to, or the president has the power to veto laws that are created by the legislative branch.
What creates the balance?
That each of these branches of government gets to check kind of the work ideas of the other branches of government. And so no one of those branches holds more power rather than the other. And so if, for example, there's a law that's passed and down the line, the Supreme Court finds it to be unconstitutional, they can override that and thus make it void. And so that's the power that exists in those branches of government.
Thank you very much. About the branches of government.
Excuse me?
What are the things you know about the branches of government?
I know a good amount of the branches of government. What specifically are you asking about?
Why, any of them. Like the roles, the plays.
Can I just tell you about how I feel about the branches of government? And in the course of saying that, maybe tell you a little bit about what I know. Are you okay? So, I think it's a pretty amazing system. The whole checks and balances concept, right? Executive, judicial, and legislative branch. I think that's pretty impressive that we as a country have managed to organize this three-tier system. It allows all of us to kind of have input, but at the same time regulates each aspect of the government. It does also allow for some debate, which I think is healthy for a country, and I think that's part of what has allowed us to kind of reach the point where we're at today, both good and bad. And so, I think it's a really interesting, it's a good model, and it's always open to being modded here at CQ, so I think it's really cool.
What do you know about the balance?
What do I know about the balancing? Well, the executive branch, which is usually represented by the president and his cabinet, they don't have full authority. They don't have the green light to do anything that they want. They have two bodies that check them, which creates balance. The judicial branch, they can't just make laws or make rulings according to their own will, but they have to take into consideration all these other things, and they're constantly checked by the other two branches as well, which creates balance. And then you have the legislative branch, which also is probably the one part of the government that is most connected to people. People have the most input there on that level, which is really interesting. Because you also have balance, and ideally you have an informed public about what's happening on that front. It's very cool.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.